It's Mrs. McNulty here on Tuesday, the 19th of January, and we are here today to do our phonics session. Now, I've got a question mark on my board, and that's because I would like to see if you can remember the sound we thought about yesterday on Monday. How did we write that sound down? So what grapheme or digraph were we using yesterday? And can you remember any words from yesterday's session? So if you need to, and you would like to, you can pause the video, see if you can write down what sound we did yesterday and how we wrote it down, and any words that you can remember from yesterday. So you can pause it if you would like to have a go at that. Okay. Did you manage to get it done? Now, did you remember that yesterday on Monday we looked at I and E? So the grapheme, the way of writing down our sound, or the digraph we used was I and E. But what sound did it make yesterday? What sound did it make? It didn't yesterday make I for tie. Yesterday it made an E sound. Did you manage to get these words written on your board if you had a go? Did you do thief? Did you do field? So I-E making the E sound this week. Those were our words from yesterday when we played our bingo game. Did you get any of those down? Did you get all 9 of them down maybe? So chief, brief, belief, shriek, believe, field, thief, mischief, and relief. A little bit of a recap. Now, I found a phonics play activity that I've not seen before, and I just want to share it with you because if you would like to have a little go, you can have a practice at this new activity with I and E, making an E sound. Okay, so if you go on to phonics play, when we go on to resources, you go on to phase 5, go right down to the bottom, so past all of these ones that we're used to playing. Okay, so it's not sentences with 5A, phase 5A. If you keep going down, you'll see it says phase 5B. You can see our Cheeky Chimps on our Acorn Adventures game, but then there's an activity called sentences. Okay. If we have a little look, it says try out the alternative pronunciations of the graphemes, and that's what we were thinking about all of last week and what we're also thinking about this week as well. Okay, and you can see it doesn't matter about the weeks at the top, we can just ignore that part. You can see some of the digraphs that we've had a little look at using last week and yesterday. So there's some on the first page, there are some on the second page. So on the second page, look, you can see we've got CH there. So that's what we did last week, wasn't it? CH making the sh or the k sound. So you might want to have a little go at that one. We've got OW, we did that one last week as well. We did EA last week, and then yesterday we did I and E. So I'm going to click on I and E, and then what happens, it gives you 3 spaces for 3 sentences. So what you could have a go at doing at home, if you would like to, is going over those digraphs that we looked at last week and yesterday, those alternate pronunciations, and see if you can test yourself by being able to read the sentences. So we'll have a little look at the first one. Okay, we'll just have a look at one because I know it won't be too close on your board, but I'll just show you. So it comes up like that, and then what it will give you is a sentence with hopefully some words with that digraph, and you can check whether you can spot where the alternate pronunciation is, whether you can spot and be able to read those words. So for example, the first one with IE says, will a chief shriek with relief in a field? Will a chief shriek with relief in a field? 1, 2, 3, 4 of our words from yesterday. So if you would like to have a little revisit, you could go on that one and have a check at the other 2 sentences. See if you can use yesterday's digraph and have a practice at reading. So you could do that now if you would like to, while we have been practicing I and E, making an E sound, or you can just do it in your own time if you would like. Okay, Okay, so that was our recap from yesterday. So now we're on to our new sound. And I've got a new sound hiding behind my star. You can see a bit of it peeping out. Can you have a guess what it might be? It's not a digraph this time. Oh, okay. See if you can tell your grown up at home or shout out. Why is this way of writing a sound, this grapheme, not a digraph? Why is it not a digraph? It's not a digraph because it's got 1, 2, 3 letters making one sound. How many letters does a digraph have making one sound? 2, doesn't it? So a digraph is where 2 letters join together to make one sound. A trigraph then we have today. A trigraph is where we've got 3 letters making one sound. And we learnt this trigraph all the way back when you were doing phase 3 phonics. What sound does it make? What sound does it make? Shout out. It makes, I'm sure you've all remembered, ear, doesn't it? It makes ear. Okay, I would like you now to pause the video, either have a chat with your grown-up or with your whiteboard and your pen. See if you can write down some words that you know that have got the ear sound in. Okay, so give it a pause. You can either say them out loud, say them to your grown-up, or you could have a go at writing them down. The words that you can remember that have got ear. Okay? Now we'll have a little look at some of those words then. Did you say any of these ones? Did you say beard? Beard. Beard. Ear. We've got, what's that one? Near. Ear. Near. Did you say here? I can't hear you. Rear. Ear. If something's at the rear, it is at the back. Dear. We might use that when we're writing a letter, might we? Dear. Fear. When we're afraid of something, fear as our ear sound at the end. Okay. You might have thought of some other ones as well. Okay. Now, I've got a word hiding behind my yellow box and I'm going to do my very, very best to read that sound. That word, sorry, not that sound. Oh, there we go. So I can see that we've got E-A-R, so I can put my sound buttons under to help me. W, ear, weir. Ear, weir. That doesn't sound right, does it? So if you can tell your grown up or shout out why that doesn't sound right. You think this makes a different sound? If you do, have a think. What other sound do you think it makes in this word? Ear, weir. It's definitely not right. I think it might be the word wear. As in wear my clothes. I am going to wear my badge, wear my hoodie today. Okay, so E-A-R, as well as making ear, can also make an air sound. Okay, so we've got the word wear. Now, the word wear is what we call a homophone. And we've got 2 words that we can think about this week that sound the same, so the same sound, but they are not spelt the same. So this word is wear, wear. This word is wear, as in wearing your clothes. Whereas this word is also wear, isn't it? One of our tricky words, wear. And you've got that word on your spelling list for this week. It's tricky word wear. W-H-E-R-E. Okay, so this time we've got that bit making the air sound, haven't we? The E-R-E. So 2 words that sound the same, but they are spelt different. So where, that we've got this week today, thinking with our E-A-R making an air sound, is an example of a homophone. 2 words that sound exactly the same, but they mean something different. I wonder if you'd like to either now or at the end of our session, maybe you could see if you could come up with any other homophones, any other words where there's two words that sound the same, but they mean something different. I've got another example there. Maybe you came up with this one. Okay, maybe you came up with this one if you paused the video. Let's have a little read of this one. So, pear, pear. But then this word at the bottom also says air, because we know that A-I-R can also make an air sound, like air for chair or air for hair. Okay, so pear and pear. So you can pause the video and have a little chat with your grown-up at what both of those words mean, and do you know which spelling goes with which meaning? So if you can have a little chat about that one. Okay, so the top one then is the kind of pear, like a pear that we will eat, like a fruit. So the pear that's the fruit is E-A-R, sorry, and the pear that's got A-I-R making the air sound is a pear where we talk about two things, a pair of shoes, a pair of socks. So that's another example of a homophone. They both sound the same. One is a fruit and one is where we've got two things, pear. Okay, so a little read of this one then. I'm going to put my sound buttons under. Bear. Bear. Now, bear is another example of a homophone, and we're going to talk about the other kind of bear tomorrow. Okay? Do you know what this kind of bear is meaning? It's the animal, isn't it? The grizzly bear. Okay? Goldilocks and the three bears. So we've seen that word lots and lots of times in our literacy this year so far. Air. This word is a little bit like we talked about last week when we had read or read, because this word could be tear, like to tear the paper, or it could also be tear. Cry, couldn't it? So that's similar to the word read from last week, but today we're thinking about making an air sound, so it would be tear. I can tear the paper. I blend at the start. Sw and air, swear. And really, that is most of the words that have got E-A-R making the air sound. There's not many of them. Okay, so it is another way we can make the sound, but only in a few different words. There aren't many words at all. Okay, so I've got 5 words today, that's all, where E-A-R makes the air sound. Okay, I'm going to point to one. I want to see if you can shout it out loud. Tear. Pear. Where. Swear. And bear. Well done. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a little game that we sometimes play in phonics. So you're going to need your whiteboard and pen if you haven't already got it. And I want you to do it without doing your picking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ask you to close your eyes or put your board up, cover your eyes. I'm going to hide one of the words, and then I'm going to tell you when to look, and you're going to write down on your whiteboard which word is missing. We call this Kim's game, don't we, in school? So get your whiteboard and pen ready. I'm going to get myself a box. I think I'll have a red one. Okay, so there's my box. I'm going to ask, well, let's check it's big enough. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so there are my words: where, swear, tear, bear, and pear. I'm going to ask you now to cover your eyes. No peeking. Okay, can you write down on your board which word is missing? Which word have I covered up? Pause it if you need a little bit longer. Okay, press play now. Pear. That one was P-A-R, pear. Okay, hide your eyes again. Either close your eyes, cover them with your board, no peeking. Okay. See if you can write down which word is missing. Which word have I covered up and hidden with our air sound? Pause it if you need a little bit longer to write it, because I'm going to uncover it. 3, 2, 1. It was wear, wasn't it? Today I am going to wear my coat because it is cold. Right, hide your eyes. We'll do one more. Hide your eyes. Okay, which one have I hidden? Open your eyes. Have a little look. See if you can write it on your board. And pause it if you need a little bit longer. I'm going to show you in 3, 2, 1. It was there. Well done. Okay, I'm sure you did a super job at writing those down. What I would love to see on your whiteboard today is some sentences with those words in. So we've only got 5 to choose from. I would love to see 5 sentences if you could write 5, but try to do at least 3 for me. So try to choose at least 3 different words and let's see what brilliant sentences we come up with. Remember, capital letters, your finger spaces, beautiful cursive handwriting. Remember, you can also practice your spellings from this week in our beautiful cursive writing on letter join. So have a little look at that as well. And I would love to see your sentences. Try to make your sentences really interesting. You might want to make silly sentences. You might want to do a sentence, try to make Mrs. McNulty laugh. Okay, so you might want to make a silly sentence with those words in. I can't wait to see how well you've got on. Don't forget to keep practicing on EdShed as well. And I'll see you tomorrow when it will be Tricky Word Wednesday. Okay, well done you two. See you soon.